Hey, how's it going, everyone? I want to share with you an article. It's about 4 or 5 days ago from the Business Insider. I'm going to try to paraphrase it real quickly. I know people have low attention spans, and then give you my overall thoughts on it. This is labeled "A 31-year-old's death from overwork causes Japan to rethink work-life balance." In Japanese, the word is called karashi, or death from overwork. Latest victim is 31-year-old Miwa Sato, who worked for a Japanese news network, logging in reportedly 159 hours of overtime in 1 month before she died of heart failure. She had taken just 2 days off prior to in the prior month. That was dated July of 2013. And Japan's government's been trying to come up with some regulation and change the cultural attitude towards work. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Another instance is where a 24-year-old employee committed suicide on Christmas Day of 2015, logging in 105 hours of overtime in 1 month. The person said on Twitter, quote, "It's 4 a.m. My body's trembling. I'm going to die. I'm so tired." And other companies have adopted to shift their allowable overtime hours to the morning. Um, let's say a 2016 report examining Karashi cases and their cause of death found that more than 20% of the people in the survey of 10,000 Japanese workers said they worked for at least 80 hours of overtime a month. In the US, 16.4% of people work an average of 49 hours or longer each week. In Japan, more than 20% do, according to the report. Half of the respondents said they don't take paid vacations. As per the report, many of the overwork deaths are caused by suicide, heart failure, heart attack, or stroke. And that's pretty much the gist of it. So I just wanted to talk about this because I believe, this being a health and fitness channel, it's not just about working out, but I try to promote that balance in life that you need. So do I feel like society in general is overworked? That's going to depend on, you know, what part of the world you're talking about, since I don't know all the regulations in different parts of the country. But as far as Asian countries, and in this case for sure Japan, and I've heard about with China too, with the sweatshops and whatnot, yeah, they're, especially in Asia, where it's very, very competitive, they are really overworked. I don't have all the statistics, but hearing about this, it doesn't really surprise me. Now, being that it's in America, do I feel like America is overworked? I feel like we are, not to the extreme of the Japanese and the Chinese and the Koreans. I'm Korean American, but we are overworked because it's not just the amount of hours, but the intensity amongst, not intensity, the quality of the hours. So I mean, you could have a job where you just, like a security guard or something. Nothing to take away from them, but just as an example, a job basically like a gas station clerk, where you're not using your uh, you're not a stockbroker, let's put it that way. Okay, I don't want to be un-PC, but you get what I'm saying. You have more time to just kind of lounge, wander around. But if you're that orthopedic surgeon or that brain surgeon or a high pressured investment banker, stockbroker, or you get burned out. I work in healthcare. There's a lot of burnout in healthcare. When you're logging in those types of hours, and some people can handle stress a little bit better than others, when that occurs, you can be prone to a lot of stress, and stress is a silent killer. Like according to the article, I'm not surprised that the suicide, the stroke, increased chance of stroke, heart failure, it just mentally just drains you, not only with work, but people also have families. They want to create that balance. So you work a full-time job, maybe you're salaried, you logging in all these hours. By the time you come home, and let's say you have a really far commute. I mean, I live in the Bay Area, um, one of the most expensive places to live, and people, I think they're labeled super commuters. People are commuting literally hours, more than an hour each way, just so they can live in a cheaper area to afford rent. And that's for another discussion, but essentially they're doing that because that's what they can afford. So they're losing not only a lot of hours, or logging in a lot of hours from work and overtime work, but they're logging a lot of hours on the road commuting, and that can burn you out as well. I've done some long commutes in the past when I was a student, but thankfully not anymore. But I digress. So, what exactly is the solution? Obviously, you can try to find another job. Easier said than done. I don't know everyone's circumstance, but hopefully, you can try to find some balance, do some meditation, do some yoga, do something that you enjoy that's fun. You need time to decompress. And I will say one thing, I don't know exactly on top of my head, but I know some like computer programmers and stuff, they only get like, maybe there's some out there that want to comment in the comment section, they only get like a few weeks of vacation a year. That to me is atrocious. 2 weeks of full vacation in America on a job where you're working multiple hours a week, it's just not enough. 2 weeks total. I'm lucky to get. I mean, I think we get, when I first started, 4 or 5 weeks a year or something, and then it kind of compounds, or not compounds, but it accrues over a pay period. So even with that, I feel like when I work and I go more than I don't know, 3 4 months straight without any type of vacation, I start to get that itch a little bit where I just feel a little bit burned out. I remember when I first started working, it was just so busy, so stressful. The environment was really, really tough, and I didn't take, and I was working overtime, and I didn't take a vacation for the first 6 months straight. 6 months straight, and that's also on top of being in school and doing a clinical rotation slash internships for 2 years straight, or 3 years as a student. So you add the 3 years as a student, and then the extra 6 months at the new job after I graduated, freshly graduated, a new grad. I mean, that's close to 4 years without taking any type of vacation. And I remember that because that's just like one of the first vacations I remember. I went with my girlfriend, now my wife my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, and we went to Napa. And I think I didn't even take a full week. I took like 5 days, and you don't really realize how much. Well, I guess you kind of realize it, but you're kind of just in that zone, and you just kind of keep going. But until you start to decompress, you finally realize how tired you really are. And I remember going on that vacation, mini vacation to Napa Valley, and did some wine tasting, which was excellent. And I was just knocked out, like, completely. And I would get those when I get really tired, you get those like stress sores inside your mouth. I remember going to like Santa Barbara or something, and or anytime I would go on vacation, I would like get those like sores inside my mouth. They're benign, they'll go away, but they hurt like a bitch. You have to rinse with salt water, and not to gross anyone out, but yeah, I'd get these, and it would always occur when I'd be so stressed out. Now I don't get it as often. Nothing's perfect, but that's why this being a health and fitness channel, working out to me is like my own therapy. So that's what I recommend. Work out, do yoga, do meditation, just get away if you can, if possible. And if your job is bringing you down, I don't care how much money you're making, if it's bringing you down, then you might want to reassess and check out some other options. So, in a nutshell, that's it. I do believe people are overworked. Got to find that balance. I don't have all the solutions, because sometimes you feel like your hands are tied behind your back. It's like, oh, I don't want to work these hours, so someone else is going to take your job. I understand that it's a dog eat a dog world, and you gotta just hustle, but nonetheless you are ultimately responsible for your own well-being. And in this extreme case, in this example, come on, I mean, your health is not worth any pension, any 401k, any company stock. So that's my time. Let me know your guys and gals' thoughts on this. Have you worked any really high stressful jobs? What's the most amount of hours that you've worked? And maybe it's not even the amount of hours. Maybe it's just the type of hours, just really stressful hours, even though it might not only be like 40 hours. That is it. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.